Good evening, class, and welcome to your flip lesson plan. Tonight you will learn American history, specifically the American Revolution. There were many battles fought during this war between the British Empire and the American colonists. The battle that you will learn about is the battle at Lexington and Concord. I am a British soldier and I will be giving you a first-hand account of what happened that day. My friend here will give you the point of view of the American soldiers. The American colonists were out of control. They had raided military supply stores and had taken up arms against us. We then received orders to destroy a munitions supply in the town of Concord and suppress any open rebellion that we came across. We began to gather the troops together for the march.
On April 14, 1775, we heard that a large British force was preparing to destroy our munitions supply at Lexington and Concord. We sent two riders out, Paul Revere and William Dawes, to warn the people that the British were coming and to gather the militia.
I, along with 700 of my fellow British soldiers, marched from Boston to Lexington, where we were met by a small militia force. Their captain was named John Parker, and he lined his group of 70 men in front of our advance guard in an attempt to stop us. He was sadly mistaken. The advanced guard fired into their line and we saw 8 go down. The rest then retreated. Our superior Major Pitcairn yelled out to them, "Disperse, you damned rebels. You dogs, run." We then destroyed what was left of the American munitions supply and began our march back to Boston. Little did we know what danger lay ahead of us.
We heard of the incident that happened in Lexington, and this angered all of us. We raised a larger force and gathered on the Concord North Bridge. When we spotted a British platoon, we fired upon them and I saw 14 men falling to the ground. The British then started marching down the road, heading back to Boston. We weren't going to let them leave that easily. Hundreds of us lined the road, and we shot and killed many British soldiers as they ran for their lives. The numerous trees that lined the road were perfect cover for us. We could see the British soldiers, but they couldn't spot us in the dense brush. The number of casualties we inflicted upon them was far higher than our own.
It was such a horrifying experience. Everywhere I turned I could hear militia shouting and firing at us. It was the most terrifying scene in all my years of service in the British Army. I remember we used to disrespect the colonial militia because we believed that their lack of military training rendered them useless soldiers, but the men who were shooting at me today were anything but. I had never seen such deadly accuracy with a musket till that terrible march back to Boston.
We finally stopped firing at the road because there were no more British soldiers in sight, besides the ones that lay dead on ground. We gave a loud victory yell and celebrated the fact that we stood our ground and chased the regular British Army back into the safety of Boston. A couple of days after the battle, many more fights broke out throughout the countryside. On June 15, Congress elected George Washington as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, and on June 17, the first major battle of the war began between British and American forces. Long live America!
My dear students, you have just completed your first flip lesson plan. Please be ready to debate in class. Also, please read the handouts that were given to you in class so that you are prepared.
Here is a little fun fact. We were able to move most of the ammunition out of Concord before the British Army was able to get to it.
Another fun fact is that we captured and detained Paul Revere before he could complete his route. Sadly, we weren't able to capture William Dawes, who went on to warn everyone that we were coming.